This is my first metal detector that I recently purchased, and it's a Bounty Hunter Tracker 4, and it is a beginner's model. However, its functions are excellent for its price. It's got basic function controls, sensitivity, tone, discrimination, all that. And if you're a beginner, I would definitely suggest getting this one. A, because it's cheap, and B, because it gets the job done. So yeah, here are some of the earlier finds, or little lame ones, I would say now. Just a bunch of scrap metals. A couple changes. And I have a couple changes in my room from the first day of metal detecting in the park. It was like a little practice run I had went to the park in the neighborhood, and found a couple changes. Lots of trash. And after that day, or I think it was a weekend, so during the next weekend I went to the woods behind our neighborhood to see what I can find, and these are what I found. And well, these were just a bunch of hunks of sharp metal that were scattered all over the place, and I had no idea what they were at first, but after, I think, 2 days into metal detecting, that's when the Christmas break started for me. I came across this piece, and this has a smooth convex outside and slight concave inside. I'm not sure if you can tell. And this little strap of, or a segment of this different metal in it. I'm not sure if you can tell, but it has a slight curved grooving into it. Then I thought, hey, maybe it's artillery shell. So yeah, I still had doubts in my mind, considering the fact this is a woods behind a suburban gated neighborhood, and this is not a place where you would expect to find something like that. But yeah, I went through research, and sure enough, this whole area used to belong to a military camp about a mile down the road from here. And the camp was established in 1917, and lots of articles and archives say it served as a live artillery practice field for soldiers going over to Europe to fight the war. And I started going through deeper into the history, and then said the camp also served as one of the sites for FDR's New Deal and CCC and all that during the Depression, and during World War II served a similar purpose during the First World War. Live artillery practice, tank training, practice fields for engineers, building bridges and blowing them up, and all sorts of things. And after Vietnam, they donated some of its land to the city for it to be turned into parks and neighborhoods such as the one we live right now. So yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. The camp that still does exist today. It's currently used as a training facility for war on terrorism over there in the Middle East, as Texas climate is similar to that of ones over there. So lots of buses going in with recruits and all that. So for those of you in the military, I appreciate your service. And yeah, continue on. Try to keep these organized in the locations I found. And this one in particular was actually the ground was slightly indented, sort of. It was like a little crater, so I thought, hey, maybe it's an impact crater. And sure enough, I started finding lots of fragments. And this one in particular is, I think it's a part of a base of the shell, and this threading on this side is probably like a base plug or base plug fuse, something like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. And lots of these metal shows a sign of corrosion from intense heat and such. So yeah, it's a pretty good indication it was probably a shell, explosive shell. And this one in particular is a rotating part of a rotating band that goes on the artillery shell, which is a soft metal band that basically engraves itself into the rifling for it to spin. And not sure if you can see the rifling, but you can actually see the marks on it, and the silver part is actually the metal that's scraped off from the cannon itself. So I thought that was pretty cool. And this one in particular has a crisscross pattern on the back, which corresponds to this fragment right here. So this one belonged to these type, and another type, similar thing. It's another rotating band, but however this one has a vertical cut on the back, which corresponds to this fragment right here. So from that, I can see that there were probably like two types, major types, that were used in this area for high explosives shells. And yeah, these are the earlier finds, so you know, nothing special, it's just boring stuff, scrap metal. So for more interesting finds, stay tuned for part 2.